I've always thought of myself as a pretty good driver until this episode of Talking Point.
Steve, do you remember the speed limit of the road if there's no speed limit sign?
Like 60?
That's wrong. 50.
50?
50.
Oh, okay. Oh, and that's it. I just missed the white line again.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
8 infringements.
For just 20 minutes of driving.
My driving ability has never been under such intense scrutiny before. Time for a reality check. The number of traffic accidents in Singapore that have resulted in injuries and fatalities have been steadily increasing since the pandemic, with 1,500 more accidents last year than 2020. Our road fatalities per 100,000 vehicles is also significantly higher compared to places like Japan, the UK and Australia. Viewer Liao Kok Wee wrote in asking what more can be done to make driving on our roads safer, and asked us to investigate attitude, driving skills and habits. So, in this episode of Talking Point, I want to find out, why are we bad drivers? According to Singapore's traffic police, accidents are due to bad driving behaviour. So I've enlisted the help of my other Talking Point hosts to help point out some of the worst actions they encounter on the road. We are all going to drive at different times of the day. Shrey will hit the morning traffic from 8 a.m.
I'm headed to the CBD on a Friday morning from Tampines. So let's see how it goes.
Munah will hit the evening traffic from 6 p.m.
Ready? Rock and roll. Hey. And I knocked the top over the side. We haven't started yet. Roll again.
And I'm going to drive around during the busy lunchtime hour.
Looks like they're gonna eat Cai Fan.
Taxi doesn't want to wait behind me. It's going to overtake me even though I'm at the speed limit.
Okay, so I'm in a turning lane. I wonder if anyone will give way.
One of my pet peeves is when people don't use their blinker and they just decide to switch lanes without you knowing. How am I supposed to read your mind?
After doing this for 3 days, I gather my fellow hosts to see which behaviours drove us crazy.
No one's giving way.
Oh, someone just changed lane without signalling. This guy beside me. I'm changing lane while signalling. Oh, he's just like swerving from lane to lane actually. Oh, now I'm stuck in the lane. Oh, he totally didn't give me way. Please, please, please. Thank you.
Oh, the taxi driver's giving way. Okay, great, thank you. And I'll let him go too. Where are all the bad drivers? I don't think the stickers. I don't think so.
They might not notice.
No, they won't. They won't notice. It's just like some property agent driving with this.
I don't know what is it with drivers of white cars, no offense. See, I've got this white car. You see, it's just cutting the lane next next to me, look at this. Speeding and changing lanes. It's a white car, you see? Changing lanes without indication. Speeding and changing lanes. It's always a white car. You buy a white car, you have to work really hard to keep it clean. You have little patience for mess, so you end up creating the silly theories by Shrey.
We need to talk, Shrey. I don't believe in Shrey's theory that drivers in white cars are impatient. I think generally I'm quite calm, unless very, very triggered, but I try to keep my cool on the road. When I was driving a black car though, I was a bit more aggressive. So, what colour car does Shrey drive? Exactly. All caught on camera, okay?
So one thing I noticed on our roads in Singapore is that there's always construction somewhere, and that inadvertently causes congestion. People get a bit impatient. Speak of the construction, there was no way for me to tell it was there, and that van just, no one's giving way. Nobody actually stopped to let me cut in. I mean, although, yeah, I probably wouldn't have really stopped too.
You see, again, very quick lane changes, even at a junction. You shouldn't be changing lanes at a junction. You see, he's got his hand out. He really needs to go right, so we'll let him go. Oh wow, 3 lanes, cutting 3 lanes.
Oh, what happened here?
Whoa, there's a right turn. And he just went straight on a right turn lane. Dude, that was very close. That was almost, we almost knocked into him. That was really dangerous. I should have horned the fella.
What about your own driving? Do you think there are any bad habits, bad behaviors that you are guilty of? Yeah, me. Let me think. I do speed sometimes when I'm on my own in the car.
I think my bad behavior is that sometimes I'm too close to the car in front of me.
So I often find myself in situations where I have to suddenly take an exit. So I'm sometimes the one who's like getting those flash signals.
Okay.
So that happens sometimes. Yeah. And then I'm like, sorry, I need to cut through.
Okay.
Singaporeans are legit the worst drivers in the whole world.
We spend 3 days observing fellow Singaporeans' driving habits. Wendy has spent 20 of her driving years doing so. She posted this video in 2023.
Whenever a person puts a signal to say, hey, I need to turn into your lane because there's a car that stopped in front of me, what they do is the car behind will speed up and close up the gap so you can't get in. So literally whenever you put a signal out, people will horn at you. Just the other day, I had to turn into the lane and this lady gave me a very rude sign for trying to get into the lane. I just don't get it.
I'm picking Wendy up. And some members of SG Carmart, one of Singapore's biggest platforms for motoring information. They had made Wendy's TikTok video a point of discussion.
Are Singaporeans really the worst drivers in the world? She's also very confused because she doesn't know why people are not willing to lose 5 seconds of their time.
Well, I feel that we are bad drivers because mostly people are very impatient, not gracious to give way. I think everybody knows it's a well-known unsaid fact in Singapore that if you want to go into other people's lane, instead of signalling, you should just sneakily faster go in.
That's a function of just the nature of our country and the size of our country, right? Our roads are not very extensive. It takes maximum, the furthest you can drive in Singapore is about an hour. So it feels like every little second that you lose, every little minute that you lose suddenly feels very significant, right? I don't want to be late by 30 seconds and therefore I will not give way because that will compromise my journey in a very significant way.
There's also that kind of mindset that, hey, I've paid so much to be driving this car. Why should I give you way? You're not supposed to have this. If you drive in Japan, they are gracious. So if you need a filter, they give you the way and then they use the hazard light to say thanks.
But I mean, Singapore actually has fewer accidents overall compared to other countries, but our fatality rate is actually much higher. Why do you think that's the case?
I would guess one reason is probably the density of our roads. When you have an accident, they tend to be sort of multi-car collisions with people inside, whereas perhaps in overseas countries, it tend to be, you know, you sort of run off the side of the road, you run into a tree, that kind of thing.
At the end of the day, then do you all feel that the way we drive is more about our attitude rather than our skills?
I think it's also kind of like the way we are raised in school. So we are taught to ace our tests, we are taught to tackle the exams. So when we go to the driving school, we learn how to parallel park exactly in the lot as the driving teacher suggested, but not so much how to behave out on the road. Probably not.
Is our bad road behaviour really just due to our attitudes and not skill? I'm here at one of Singapore's main driving schools.
Hello, hi.
This is Hassan.
Hi Hassan.
I was told I'm here to interview Hassan Ghani, the chief driving instructor.
You're not here to interview Hassan.
Oh,
He's going to be testing you today.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
I failed my first time.
I won't be the only one taking the driving test.
Hey, very handsome today, sir. Sorry, got an uncle already.
Some of you may recognize Daniel and Jonathan from their YouTube podcast, The Daily Ketchup, where they discuss anything and everything under the sun about life in Singapore.
The thought of like staying 2 to 3 nights in the hospital was like, wow, what's it going to be like?
We've also brought in Wendy. She's ranted against other drivers. How will she fare?
Not sure if I still remember all the things I'm supposed to remember. We'll find out.
Okay, make a right turn.
Easy, man.
Go to the slope number 12. And you stop here. Okay. Can?
Sorry, what's next?
Can you recall?
No, I never take auto.
This one I worried a bit.
Yo, what's this test? Did everybody do this test?
We call it the reaction response. Go straight, make sure both tires hit the curb. Strike the,
But it's a ramp, what?
It's a ramp, so you just go slowly, touch the curb first.
Then I stop for you.
And then stop, then you accelerate to mount the curb. So stop before hitting the pole.
Oh.
To see how fast can you react.
Okay, I'm
Let's
at the
try.
curb.
Okay, good.
So I go. Hit the curb.
So. Slowly. Okay, then you reverse into the lock there.
Oop, mount the curb. Sorry. Shall I redo?
No, it's okay, just press proceed.
Bigger car, more stressful.
Alright, good. Oh, okay.
Can't see the road, you know.
I gonna this one, I know it.
Okay, good.
You don't, not yet. Don't follow me. We are not out of the course yet.
Okay.
Okay, good. Well done.
Oh. Is the parking lot's fault? Not my fault.
I'm ready,
Right,
I think.
okay, let's proceed.
I'm on curb already.
Hit curb.
I think I cannot. Cannot lah, I'm on the curb.
The
already.
left. So straighten the wheel to your left. Turn back the wheel. Okay, stop first. Okay, good.
I cannot lah. Why ah?
Okay, alright. Okay, we go forward.
The videographer laughing at me.
Yeah.
Oh, I never on signal just now, that's why. Amateur. Wow, I feel like I'm gonna hit the curb.
Don't swim anymore.
While I wait with bated breath for the results of this driving test, I poll you to find out who you think are Singapore's worst drivers.
Which group of people in Singapore do you think are the worst kind? Place your vote right here.
Nearly 2,000 of you voted. 8% voted for men, 13% for women, 36% for luxury vehicle drivers, and the unfortunate top honours goes to private hire and taxi drivers, 43% of the votes. What do they have to say about this unsavoury reputation?
Oh, hello guys. Hi.
I brought 4 of them together to give them the bad news.
The poll said that private hire and taxi drivers are the worst drivers in Singapore. How does that make you feel?
I think it's not fair to say that we are the worst, because why? There's a lot of other road users that they have a very bad driving behaviour also.
Yeah.
But they got nothing to be recognised. As taxi driver, we can be recognized very easily once they say, oh, it's a taxi driver. See, so this is where I think they come from, to say that we taxi driver are a bad taxi driver.
I would say it's actually up to individuals' driving characteristics actually. I experienced drivers who are actually dashing across the road, which does not have to be like taxi drivers or PHV drivers.
Actually, we are more responsible drivers.
Okay.
Yeah.
How come?
We have the safety of our customers on us. We have to bring them from point A to point B at the safest way, or driving safely.
Okay. But at the same time, you are also often rushing to take on a new job, right?
For taxi, you see, we don't have to rush a job. Because whenever the job broadcasts to us, whether for us to take or not to take.
For me personally, I don't really do it in that manner because in this 1 year of my experience, I've encountered fair share of like when we try to rush to point A to pick up a new person, then midway itself, we can get cancelled. Suddenly we receive a cancellation. So it got me to realize that, at the end of the day, I shouldn't really rush to one point, and I shouldn't rush because of my passenger safety itself.
Do the passengers ever ask you to rush for them?
Many times.
Yeah.
Do happen. Yeah.
This is very common.
Very common.
Usually they come down, they always say, hey, uncle, I'm late, can you help me to rush? I always tell them, I can try, I'll do my best. And within the speed limit, on a safety way. So I hope you understand.
But you are rushing a little bit. Does that actually make you a worse driver?
No.
If someone asks me to, can you speed up? That doesn't mean I have to drive recklessly.
Okay.
I can increase my speed, stay within my lane, within the limits.
Fair enough.
Right?
But my point is, if there's greater pressure for you to perform faster, you could be a bit more reckless.
Could happen
Yeah.
with some people that just want to help the passenger. They always think that, wow, if I don't help him, he might give me 1 star. That is another
That's another pressure
point. I have given advice to people who ask me to do things against the traffic rules, and in the end they gave me a star.
A bad rating.
Yeah, bad rating.
Some drivers, they really do rush because they really want to clock as much trips as possible for the incentives, which we do not advocate for that. We really do not.
And I understand that you have to go for a refresher course also every
6 years.
6 years.
Yes.
For taxis and private hire drivers, right?
Correct.
Yes. Is that helpful?
It's a timely reminder that after driving for a number of years, hey, it's time to say, hey, look here. These are some of the things that you should remember. When you see an amber light, you don't just press on the accelerator and try to beat it.
Right.
Things like that. It is important. It is important.
Besides who took the top honours, there was one more thing I noticed about our poll. When it came to men versus women, nearly 100 more people voted women as the worst drivers.
So it's no secret that women are stereotypically bad drivers, right? Okay, I'm gonna probably get into a lot of trouble just for saying that from my wife. But come on, guys, what do you think? Don't you agree that women are, typically bad drivers? Come on, back me up here. No support. Yeah. Between men and women, would you say one group is worse than the other?
I would say women, because I met quite a few. They just don't bother give ways. And even zebra crossing, I cycle East Coast.
Yeah.
Then zebra crossing, you just go ahead.
I think it's a mixture. To
Yeah?
me, I think it's a mixture. There are some female also, they are quite aggressive in their driving.
Female drivers, when it comes to reversing, when it comes to parking, they're a bit more cautious. Males, they will just zoom straight into the parking lot, whereas the female will make a few turns forward, backwards, and so on.
Okay.
I think men are better.
In what sense?
They are more steady.
They are more cautious, I can say maybe. They drive slowly, rest slower than the usual speeds sometimes.
Okay. And the men, they're more...
They just chong.
Well, a mixed bag of answers. So why don't we ask a pair of driving experts? This power couple are a menace on the racecourse. Yui Tan is a Singaporean race car driver with over 150 races under his belt. His wife, Claire Jedrick, is Singapore's first female race car driver. But off the racetrack, what kind of drivers are they?
I very rarely overtake when we are in a traffic jam. I think scientifically you don't save too much time.
I think Yui has a lot more patience when it comes to driving on the road.
She likes to feel the car. I probably drive a little bit slower than she does.
I absolutely change lanes more often than Yui. I can be quite the backseat driver.
When I drive, I keep a lot of car distance, especially when on the expressway. I probably leave more car distance than anyone I've seen.
Who makes better drivers? Men or women?
Wow. Gotta say, still at the end of the day, men are better drivers. I think there's just a lot more time spent in the car for a lot of men, statistically. And I think it's easy just to be able to practice this. I think just because of interest-wise and just knowing more about your car, I think men just know more about their piece of hardware than women.
Your opinion?
I'm going to give it to the boys. I think they have a good sense of awareness and ability. I see generally using indicators, turning, stuff like that from an ability point of view. But when ego and emotion gets in the way, I think it can get a little tricky.
So statistics show that men are more likely to cause more accidents than women. Why do you think this is so?
If I look out while driving and look at the amount of men in their daily drives, I definitely think they are going to cause more accidents.
So you're saying just because there are more men or male drivers on the road, by virtue of numbers?
Yeah, they're always going to be, I suppose, the worst off in that sense.
What do you think we can do to make all of us better drivers?
I'm going to relate this back to experience of being back on track.
Yeah.
The number one thing that I learned that made me a better driver was letting go of ego.
I'm never aggressive on the road. Every time somebody lets me in a lane, I let them go.
So men are the better drivers, according to this race car couple. But what do their toughest critics think? Who do you think is the better driver?
Mom.
Mummy?
Mommy.
Mummy? Oh, both of you say mummy. How come?
Because she's fast.
Because she's fast?
Faster.
Oh. What about daddy? What's his driving like?
Slow.
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 Who do you think makes a better driver? A boy or a girl?
Go. Boy.
Go call your mommy and daddy. Let's see what they think.
Hello, hey guys. I've been drilling your kids, trying to ask them who is the better driver. So do you guys want to tell mommy and daddy who you think is the better driver?
Mommy.
Yeah.
Ooh, thank you.
Why do you think mommy is the better driver?
Because she's fast.
So their version of a better driver is because she's fast.
I'm not surprised with this result because they do tell us that that she is more fun in the car.
Oh, really?
Due to her driving capability.
When all four of you are in the car,
Yep.
who's the boss.
Ooh.
Okay, that one has nothing to do with driving skills. We all just clearly know who's the boss, that's all. Okay, so it was a stalemate. Both Claire and Yui think men are better drivers. Their kids think otherwise. So I brought my talking point co-host back.
Bring it on.
Drive safe.
This is a simulator typically used for driving tests. Both Shrey and Munah will be put through real-life road conditions. Our producer will keep track of who gets into more accidents.
Are you ready, Munah?
Ready.
Start the engine.
Okay.
Drive on lane 3 and proceed straight.
Oh no, there's a little... Why? But then... Don't laugh! Don't laugh!
Hey, got object.
Yeah, you see?
It's a rigged game, guys.
Oh!
You have reacted correctly to avoid a collision.
Yes!
Please continue driving.
I was focusing on the red car and then the truck suddenly stopped. Oh my goodness!
Follow behind truck.
Oh, no, 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 no. Oh my God.
Haha! I heard that.
I'm stressed by everything on the road now.
Yeah, I know. This car. Oh my goodness. This grey car was just speeding up behind me.
You have met an accident. You have reacted correctly to avoid a collision.
I did.
These cardboard boxes confirm fall on the floor. I know it. Ah, see? I know.
You were involved in an accident.
What the? See, I'm driving a white car.
Oh, sure. Blame the car color.
I'm driving a white car, of course. It's a car. Terrible luck befalls a white car, you see?
If you recall, this is Shrey's white car theory.
See, I've got this white car. You see, it's just cutting the lane next to me. Look at this. Speeding and changing lanes. It's a white car, you see? Changing lanes without indication. You buy a white car, you have to work really hard to keep it clean. You have little patience for mess, so you end up creating the silly theories by Shrey.
Hey guys.
Hey.
Hey,
Don't be
Steve.
distracted. Focus on your driving. I'm here to take a peek.
Filter to the left lane.
I am in the left lane. What?
You signal right, but you turn left.
Because come out like that, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just like you, always sending the wrong signals.
Hey, the cyclist.
Oh no!
Hey. Hold on. I had signal.
Oh, showing you what happened. Oh.
The cyclist saw a gap between the left side of your car and the curb and decided to squeeze.
Then, is that my fault?
So you should have let the cyclist go first.
Well, I was signaling, so the cyclist was the one who could have seen me.
Munah, remember? Wrong signals.
So angry.
Okay. Yeah, he's gonna. Wow. Great. I knew it. Watch out for every element in this game.
This is more stressful than driving in real life.
It is.
Oh.
What did I do?
That's like accident number 2, 3.
I need to focus.
Thank you for attending this simulator training.
Okay. Based on the number of accidents, the better driver is Munah. In total, Munah had 4 accidents.
Okay.
In the entire thing?
Yep, if we count all the modules in total.
I heard more than that. There's no way.
Maybe you heard more because you had 7. Maybe that's where all the sound was coming from.
I think it was coming from yours, really.
Which accident do you think was the worst?
There were some which were just engineered for you to have an accident.
Yeah.
Like the tree drops in front of you and there's a car next to you and there's a car next to you.
Like, what do you do, right?
There's no way, even if you stop, the car behind hits you. So
Okay. But that is real life.
I am very upset
Yeah, so
about
there's
the bicycle
Some accidents
accident.
cannot be avoided, you know. You just have to brake as fast as you can and hope for the best.
Very often there is this stereotype that it's female drivers who tend to be worse. In this case
No, it's
today,
just proven
we showed
that it's not the case.
I'm very happy.
This is proof that women, you know, doesn't mean that if you're a woman,
Go
you're a
girls.
worse driver.
Yeah, you see?
The only stereotype we haven't conclusively proven is the white car, black car thing.
Because you were driving a white car.
Exactly. In the simulation, they gave me a white car, so that's unfair.
I drove a white car, so you cannot blame the colour.
Of course, you're used to driving a white car.
That's another battle altogether, okay?
Okay. Putting colour aside,
Okay.
you know. So Munah, why do you think women get such a bad rep on the roads?
I think it really stems from just this stereotype that's been ingrained in you for the longest time, right? And then every time you see a woman make a mistake on the road, you're like, that's another proof to prove the stereotype right.
You know, I almost feel that sometimes when we encounter women who make these mistakes on the roads, they're not as severe. They're like bad parking, stopping in places they shouldn't,
or taking a long time to park.
Yeah, or taking a long time. And then you say it's a bad driver. Whereas the guy is aggressive, he gets into an accident, but then you just think, yeah, that's an idiot, you know?
Yeah, you don't necessarily associate it to the gender. Yeah.
So Munah beat Shrey in the driving simulator. I wonder if Wendy would beat the rest of us guys in the driving test. I'm here to crash the Daily Ketchup's regular podcast session with our test results. Jonathan and Daniel both took the driving test. Jonathan Paul didn't take the test, but he's here to see how his co-host did.
Okay, I've got the results. So to pass, you have to get 18 demerit points or less.
Okay.
But if you have any immediate failures, then it doesn't matter how many points you get, you just fail.
Okay.
It's just pointless.
Okay. So all of you failed.
You know what? I'm so happy. Come on, Steven. I expected more of you,
So we all failed. But how did we stack up against each other?
All right, I'll start with Daniel.
Oh no.
Okay, you got 18 demerit points.
Oh, wow. Okay.
You got 2 immediate failures.
Ah,
So one was
okay.
mounting the curb during parking.
I did.
And then failing to stop at the stop line at the junction. Okay,
Thank you,
Wendy.
Yes.
16 demerit points.
Wow. So you would have passed based on points.
But
But-
3 immediate failures.
Oh, 3.
Oh, is it?
Okay, Steve, you got 20 demerit points.
Respectable. I'll be okay with it.
Okay.
3 immediate failures.
Okay.
Jonathan.
Oh, what did you do?
We will
I
not
have
stop for a
to,
commercial
I have
break.
to flip my page for this.
Because
okay.
At least 40.
30.
Before we reveal the result, I just want to say when John came back from the test, right, he was so down. He said he embarrassed his whole family.
My bloodline.
He has PTSD.
Okay.
And so on that note,
And the number is?
40.
Wow, on the money.
You got 2 immediate failures.
I'm more curious how you got 40.
Wendy had the least demerit points. Girl power indeed.
So I'm going to give you guys your results. Daniel,
That's
Steve.
what she is.
Thank you.
Okay, guys.
All right. Are you surprised by these results?
I had one of the immediate failures, which was not stopping at a stop line. I think was the moment where I thought the test had ended. But again, you can't let your
Okay.
guard
What
down.
was it? I think we all failed in that respect.
Yeah,
not
yeah,
stopping.
okay.
As a tester, he gave no indication whenever you had messed up, right?
It's true, it's true, it's true. I was so
Exactly that.
confident for parallel parking. It was not even a point of concern. I'm ready. I think.
Let's proceed.
I'm okay already.
Now, when you look back, looking at this test, do you ask yourself, maybe when I'm driving on a regular basis, I'm probably doing quite a few things wrong as well?
Oh, for sure. Like after
Right?
the test, I suddenly became super paranoid. I found myself like checking my blind spots extra times and even more exaggerated. But I think like something that I realized also was that something that was very clear that you need to do during the test was to stop at the pedestrian crossing. And something that he called me out for was even before the pedestrian had gotten off the curb, I had already started moving. And he said that would have been another immediate failure. And we realized that in real life, if we were waiting for the pedestrians to get off the curb, the people behind us would have been horning and impatient.
Our
already.
social construct will not allow for it.
Exactly, and I feel like I drive with the judgment of the person behind me in mind a lot of the times.
After I got my license, I didn't drive for 2 years because I realized I don't have a car.
Okay.
So when I finally started driving, I couldn't remember anything and I was just like, I was learning from experience again.
Okay, so because you had not driven, you had forgotten some of the rules, what the signs mean, things like that.
And I feel like driving is a skill that if you don't practice frequently, you just forget.
Good point. So would a refresher course, like every 5 years we just have to go for a refresher course?
Well, then everybody will fail.
But it's a good reminder, right? Because then I realized, oh yeah, all these years I haven't been doing this thing.
No, I think I'm a very good driver, to be honest.
No, I believe you. Wait, let's hear about it.
On the road, hit the curb.
So. Sorry.
Oops, mount curb. Sorry.
I also think that like the refresher is useful for like the general safety of everybody on the road, because like I have a grandma who's about 84 who still drives, and I've also seen like other elderly drivers who are falling asleep at the wheel, or they are not really following the rules that we are talking about, right?
So what other suggestions then would you have that would help us improve the driving experience on our roads?
To be honest, I have taken a lot of defensive driving. Being able to react very quickly, knowing your braking distance is very important. What to do when some car just comes in front of you.
Defensive driving is a course available for experienced drivers like me.
Are you an aggressive driver?
This one-day course begins with a theory session.
There's one more vehicle over here. So who will go first?
I think the red car should go first.
So the rule is, whoever car, right, that's the head is first, will go first. Don't signal lah, just go. That will become a habit, right, at the end of the day. And he's causing danger to others because he's very reckless. P-plate. If they get one red light from here, a silver zone or school zone, right? What happened to the license?
Suspended.
Revoked. Because they should not get more than 13 within 1 year. Okay, this is our end of the theory session. So later on, you'll have your practical after the lunch. You will be recorded, and from there, you'll be able to assess you and see whether you guys are low, medium, or high risk.
Now it's time I put what I've learned to the test. My instructor Farhan will be testing me to see if I paid attention during class. The car I'm driving has several cameras installed to monitor my every move. I'm actually consciously trying to drive better because you're sitting here and have all these cameras on me.
Systems, yeah.
Even then, I'm sure I've already made a few mistakes. I'm pretty sure you've already marked it down your head.
Well, I have 3 right now. For example, right now, your hand position on steering wheel.
Oh.
Yeah, it's supposed to be 10 to 2 or
so
9
all the
to 3.
time?
All the time.
Oh,
why? So that you are ready to do your changes if there's something happen ahead.
What are some other things that we do wrong?
For example, just now when you stop at the traffic light junction, you exit the stop line. That's an immediate failure.
Oh.
Or successful test. Yeah.
Which light? Like here, it's the first line, right? The solid white line.
The continuous white line. What you normally do when you wait for the traffic light change?
What do I do? Change music, drink water, I guess. And of course the phone is there, so it's very tempting to check the phone too.
Yeah, so the moment you step into the vehicle, you are a driver. So driver, focus on being driver, not a telemarketer.
Okay.
So at 60 kilometers, you need to have at least 6 car lengths away from the front.
6 car lengths? Wow, that's like, that's way far away.
So the faster you drive, the more time you need to react if the front car were to have an emergency.
Okay. This is super safe, but this feels like I'm so far away. Why am I leaving such a big gap?
Why you want to chase the front car?
After 1 hour of driving, it's time for my results.
So as you can see, there are more than 20 infringements.
Okay, all those dots are
so
where I did something wrong?
Yes, exactly. So over here, as you can see, we are at the junction, waiting
for the traffic lights to turn.
Correct, and then after that, we have to move off, right? So the moment you start to move forward, the following distance you have for the front vehicle is a bit too near. Alright, so with that, you don't have enough time to react if, let's say, the front vehicle were to slam on the brake pedal. So safety distance fails.
Okay.
So approaching junction, green light, amber, red, prepare to stop. Indicator line over here, and you overshot. So by doing that, you're almost coming near to the present course. So we have a summary of the report, and that gives you a scoring of high risk.
Oh wow! Which means I'm at high risk of like getting into an accident.
Correct.
Or I always thought I was a pretty good driver. And like I said, I was even driving better than I normally do on my own, you know.
So it's
and
still
yet,
not enough.
I'm still a high-risk driver.
Correct.
Wow. I mean, I thought maybe I would be, there'll be some infringements, but to be in the high-risk category, that is surprising. Because I look around me and when I'm driving, I think there's so many bad drivers out there. So they would be like, I don't know, extreme high risk.
Yes, correct. So as you can see, being a high-risk form of qualified driver is quite dangerous. So imagine we have multiple drivers like you.
Oh, wow. So in this episode, I was focusing so much on what made others bad drivers that I didn't think about whether I could potentially be one of them too. But well, in hindsight, that was pretty embarrassing, on national TV no less. So before I go around asking why are we bad drivers, maybe I first need to ask, how do I become a better driver?